Hello, my name is Marrianne. I am a senior at Stockton, and here is my little guide to becoming a Washington intern. The Washington Center basically lets people from around the world get internships and get experiences in Washington, D.C., whether that is working with the government, that is working with nonprofits, the media, lawyers, all of the amenities that Washington, D.C. could give you. I first heard of the Washington Center through an information session. If you need a little more convincing whether this is for you or not, I would highly suggest going into one to see into more of how they work and what are the requirements into getting into it. It is also highly recommended that you would have a conversation with Professor Rodriguez, who is the liaison between Stockton and the Washington Center. Basically, he could tell you what are the requirements, how this would fit into your degree works, what other classes are like at DC, and basically like the whole experience. On my part, or actually in every student's part, there are 5 components into trying to apply for this program. The first is your resume, the second is your transcript, the third is a letter of recommendation, fourth is the 2 essays that you have to write, and the 5th is completing the form online. There are a lot of resources that Stockton offers for you to feel comfortable sending these out. Professor Rodriguez will help you with any questions you have with the essays. There are people from the Career Development Center that can help you build up your resume. And for the transcript, I would highly suggest getting help as well because I needed the help. But basically, you take all of that and put it into the form, send it through, and hopefully you get in. Once you get in, you get paired with a guidance counselor. Basically, their job is to get to know you, to learn what you expect from this experience, as well as answer any questions that you might have. So basically, they would take all of the information they know about you now and match you with organizations that matches with what you just described. Once they reach out to you, the interview process is different on its own, whether they want to talk to you on the phone or by Zoom. I haven't heard of anyone doing it in person, especially with the climate that we're in, but that is also highly possible that might happen. After the matching process, after the interviews, you would obviously get offers, you could get rejected. Anything can happen. The cycle repeats again if you decided that you didn't want any of the organizations that they recommended to you. For me, I got interviews from PR firms. I got an interview from a broadcasting news site, this blogger that needs an intern running their website, and a couple of nonprofits. The process for me took about 2 to 3 weeks. That could be longer or shorter depending on how fast your interviewing process went. But in the end, I decided to work with Ayuda. Now, Ayuda is a nonprofit organization that helps low-income immigrants in the DC metropolitan area. They help with either social services, with legal services, or even language access. Basically, they're the people that immigrants would go to for help that they might necessarily not be able to get due to their circumstances. I am currently working with their development and communication team that consists of basically 3 people plus me, so that's 4 people. My weekly task involves data entry. That is nothing special. That's not a communications just based team. I've heard from a lot of students that they also do data entry, and it's really vital for you to understand Excel. If you're not comfortable with Excel now, I suggest get on it if you want to do it, because it's a lot of formulas that you need to know. So don't feel bad if you're not that used to Excel or inputting data into a software just yet, because everyone's going through it. The next is managing their social media, pumping out content, answering comments. Other responsibilities that I have is by helping my director with press releases, with any research that he might need. I've also written blogs for them, written client stories that I've had heard from our legal team. I've also been assisting our assistant director with their social media analytics. Basically, it's just going through how many views, how many likes each post would get, and figure out what we can do better to reach out to our audience. My biggest project at the moment, since May is coming up, is our spring event, which is supposed to be a gala, but since with COVID and everything's going to be happening online. So I've been reaching out to speakers, to the MCs, to honorary host committee members, basically just gathering everyone. As of right now, I highly recommend doing it, especially if you have the time or if you're just not sure with what you want to do. This definitely helps you figure out what you want to do further on in life. If you want to do more research on the Washington Center, the Stockton does have a long relationship with the program, and they do have a lot of students that are doing it every semester. So I would just, as I said, join those information centers, have a talk with Professor Rodriguez, maybe talk to a friend of yours that may have done it. So that is my experience so far, and if you need any help, I am very open to questions. If you need my contact information, I'm pretty sure Professor Suya can give it to you. That's it. Good luck.